You ready?
Whenever you are. Come on down. It's Otwell Middle School, the place to be, where the Bulldogs rule. Inside these walls in Sikkim Studios, David and Greg on the mic. Here we go. Got the latest scoops and the hottest takes. The perfect podcast, whatever it takes. From the hallways to the games. Have you not heard that show around? Here we go. Yeah. Unleash the Bulldogs. Let's hear the roar. Talking about everything and so much more. Bulldogs Unleashed. We're live on the air. David and Greg, we're right here.
Sikkim Studios, baby. First two.
Need a great meal where the biscuits are fine. Sonic Mountain Biscuit Company there on the line.
Yum.
Looking for a ride, yeah, something slick. Andy Chevrolet, yeah, they're the ones to pick. Craving some chips and a little salsa dip.
Yum,
Los Rios
yum.
Cantina, a fantastic trip.
Right.
We got the best sponsors. We want to thank them all for bringing this show to the halls. Unleash the Bulldogs, let's hear the roar.
Bring it.
Talking about everything and so much more. Bulldogs Unleashed, we're live on the air. David and Greg, we're right here.
Let's go, David. We out.
Hey, man.
We are in the house.
Back in the studio again.
Yeah.
Two special guests today.
Yeah.
So let's not waste a lot of time. Let's get right into the episode.
Right here at the table.
Important topic.
Yeah.
Important topic.
Who do we got today?
So today we have our board member, District 1, Wes McCall, is going to be joining us, and Miss Priscilla St. Jean. But before we get to them, we got to remind our audience, don't forget to follow us on Spotify. Click on that bell so you get a notification every time a new episode drops. Go to our YouTube channel. Click like and subscribe. You want to get all our videos as well. And then if you don't already, follow us on Instagram at Sikkim Studios. So, Greg, who do we have with us today, man?
We have Wes McCall, the legend of Wes McCall over here.
He's back. He was here last year.
He's regular.
Yes.
He is
back.
a regular.
He is the Bulldog Unleashed.
Yes.
Yes, yes. How are we doing today, Mr. McCall?
I'm doing well, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, it's been about a year or so. And
About a year ago.
Talk about the difference. I mean,
Yeah.
Slightly
you
different,
guys
yes.
are learning
Legit.
and improving every day and just making a big difference. And I think if I remember correctly, last time we were here, we talked about some pretty fun things like the Elon Musk Cybertruck.
Yeah. We tend to get off topic, don't we, Mr.
We
Miller?
tend to, yes.
Yeah.
Which is why Miss St. Jean's here to keep it
Yes,
reeled in
that's
today.
the sole
Back
purpose
on
right here.
Timekeeper, right?
You're keeping us on track for today.
For District 1.
For District 1.
Yeah, our
Which is
district.
our district.
Yeah, number
Yes.
one.
That's
District
right.
1.
So glad to have him back here talking about an important topic. Because, Greg, I don't know if you noticed, it is mid-October.
Can't believe it.
And it is early voting.
Yeah.
Early voting's taking place.
Yeah.
And there's a question on the voting ballot this year that many people may have questions about. And it's about ESPLOST.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad to have Mr. McCall with us today to talk to us a little bit about that, what it is, what it's about, what are maybe some misconceptions about ESPLOST, what that means for the community. So I'm going to throw it to you, Wes, if you don't mind. Tell us a little bit about what is ESPLOST, what does that mean for our community, and then also what are some maybe misconceptions that are out there about it?
And maybe even before he goes there, like, who are you? Who is this
wow.
guy?
Yeah, definitely.
Tell us who you
Yeah,
are, the
so-
district you represent, and dive right into that for us.
So I'm very lucky and fortunate to represent District 1 in Forsyth County, and I do believe it is one of the best districts in
Yes,
the county. Has
absolutely.
majority of the city of Cumming, so the schools are obviously Cumming Elementary, Otwell, and then Central. And so been on the board. This is going to be my 8th year. And
Wow.
so, yeah, it's been a long haul. I think it's probably one of the hardest times in education. But because of you guys and our leadership in our school system, you know, we made it through some tough times with COVID and some divisive materials and just trying to work with the community over the last couple of years. And so we're in a really good spot because of you guys and your leadership. So thank you for that.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you
Thank you for your support.
For supporting our schools and what we do here and coming to and support our endeavors. You know, as you see, people who are looking around what's going on at Otwell and Sikkim Studio. So we appreciate what you do at the board level to support the local schools.
Yeah.
Well,
Now
you
into
know-
SPLOST. What's
Yeah.
all the SPLOST talk
SPLOST,
about?
right?
Get
SPLOST.
into it, man.
Yes.
Well, you know, one of my agendas has always been is to serve, and we want to serve the students, we want to serve the parents, and then we want to serve the teachers and the principals. The principals are the leaders and the community leaders within each school, right? And one of the ways we do that is through providing resources. And in Forsyth County, we actually have two different budgets. We have one, which is our operation budget. That takes care of teacher salary. As a matter of fact, about 91% of that budget is teacher salary and staff salary to get everybody here and working and serving the kids and the parents, right? That's through the operation budget. And then we actually have like a capital program. And capital are the stuff, the things, the buildings, the buses, the desk, this equipment that's in here and things like that. Yeah. And the difference is that the operation budget actually is paid for by property tax. Okay. So if you live in Forsyth County, own a home, own property, you pay property tax. That helps with the operation budget, which is, like I said, the teachers, the everyday operations, maintaining the HVAC, things like that, the operations, like the power costs money, right? Those are our daily operations. Yeah. But then there's the ESPLOST. The ESPLOST is actually a 1 penny consumption tax. And the ESPLOST has been in place in Forsyth County for several years. I want to say maybe almost 16 years or so. So it's been there for a while. And that actually helps pay the capital budget. So the buildings, the desks, the equipment, the buses, things like that is paid by SPLOST, which is the 1 penny consumption tax. Okay. It helps the property tax owner not have to cover both.
Okay.
Okay.
Gotcha.
And so the consumption tax is something that is not new. We would just like for it to continue. Now, with the consumption tax there's a law that says you can only have it every 5 years, and then you have to vote again to continue it.
Gotcha.
And with that, you have projects that you want to complete. And so every 5 years, we present the projects that we want to complete and say, this is what we're going to do with the next SPLOST. One of the things that we need to look at when we talk about the SPLOST and the capital and the stuff that we need in the school system, like the buildings, is how do we pay for that, right? And so we can use the SPLOST. There is also another option, and it's called a bond. So basically, we can go out as a school system and take this bond and basically borrow the money. But just like if you were to take a loan out and borrow the money for a car or whatever, you have to pay it back.
Yeah.
Right.
And you have to pay it back with interest.
Say probably with interest, right? Yeah.
Right. And so now in Forsyth County, we do have a AAA bond rating, which gives us the best interest rate out there, but it's still interest. You're still paying on the debt.
Yeah.
Which is taxpayers' money. You don't want to use taxpayers' money to pay on the debt. The other issue with a bond is that you have to, by law, you can't pay it off for 20 years.
Interesting.
So you have to pay off that bond in a 20-year span.
20 years, I'll be retired.
That's right.
McCall,
That's
I'll be
right.
out.
Never.
Well, you think about the next generation.
Yeah.
We're going
Right.
into debt now, and then the next generation has to pay that for the next 20 years. Matter of fact, we are using SPLOST money to pay off the current debt that we have. And the projected path, if this SPLOST were to pass, is that we would be debt-free in 2038.
That's incredible.
That's incredible. And one of the things that the reason it has to be 38 is because it's the 20-year mark, right? So 2018, we went into a bond to build some schools. We have to pay it off. 2038 is when it ends.
Gotcha.
But what we've been doing since then, and since I've been on the board, we have acquired no debt.
Yeah.
No debt. We have not acquired
That's
any
impressive.
That's great.
Everything that comes in through the ESPLOST, the 1 penny consumption tax, we have paid for cash. Midway Elementary, cash.
Yeah.
Midway, and then New Hope, cash. The expansion at your friendly neighbor,
Our neighbor,
the
Lakeside.
Yeah.
Middle School, cash. And there's no other school system that's paying cash for projects. So fiscally, we have the right path. So that's what the ESPLOST does.
Gotcha.
Now, what's on the ballot is really up to the voters. And the voters actually kind of help us. We know we have projects that need to be completed. It's just how do you pay for those projects? So the voters help. We can either use the consumption 1 penny tax, or we can look at what it looks like for property owners to take that on.
Gotcha.
Now, looking over the last 5 years, they say that 1/3 of the consumption tax being received is being paid by outside residents. People that don't even live in Forsyth County are coming in. So you think
As
about
visitors.
as visitors,
Yeah.
they're paying for that 1/3. And so we collected $300 million through SPLOST. So $100 million of that was collected by outside people coming in and spending money on visitors.
That's wild.
So people just coming in and spending money at the shops and,
That's right.
I guess, okay.
The collection.
Collections.
The collection.
Maybe the city center now.
City center.
City
Yeah,
center.
yeah,
Big
it's
one.
busy on the weekends.
Yes, it is.
So
Okay.
when they're out there listening to those concerts and, and things
so
like that.
100 million by visitors alone?
Yeah.
Incredible.
Wow. So there's
Right.
looking at this week, this as we're recording this episode, this is again mid-October, and there was a board meeting this week, and one of the things on the board meeting talked about a presentation for ESPLOST. I was able to go through that and look through it, and there's different areas of need. There's critical, there's high, and then there's one more.
High.
I'm not from. So can you talk a little bit about those areas?
So, and I'll let Priscilla talk a little bit about the actuals that Otwell will be receiving. But so when we pay with cash, we have to collect that cash up front. We're not going into debt and don't have the money up front. So it's just like living at home. You have to prioritize your projects by the cash that you have on hand.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what we've done with those 3 categories. We said, okay, here's priority 1. So when this cash flow comes in, we're going to take care of priority 1.
Gotcha.
Then when the next flow of cash comes in, then we'll take care of priority 2, and then priority 3.
Gotcha.
And that's the reason why we had to do that. And it's kind of new because of the concept of pay with cash as it comes in, right? We don't want to go in debt. Now, in the past, like in 2018, they got a lump sum, just like kids. You took the loan out, the bond out, you got a lump sum. You don't have to prioritize because you got all of the money up front. You can do it all.
Yeah.
But that's not what we want anymore. We want to be able to pay cash. So you have to wait. It goes in there, and then you prioritize.
That makes sense.
So the biggest thing that we look at always is school safety. So that's some of the issues that are on the bond will help with is the school safety, and then overcrowding. We have 2 thought process with that. One is elementary school in District 1. There's a lot of beds still left to be built in District 1, and you see that every day, right? All the growth and things like that. And so we have several elementary schools in District 1 that have trailers.
Yes.
And modular units for classrooms, and we would need to get rid of those. So this SPLOST will help with that. We have a new elementary school that's planned, but then the other thing is for middle and high schools is that we would like to expand the capacity. In the past, there's always been a capacity cap that says, hey, we don't want to go above this, so let's build a new school. Well, when you do that, you have to find land, which is expensive. Then you have to build a whole new school, and then everybody, because they just love their community, love redistricting, right? No, nobody likes redistricting because all of our schools are great. They build these communities, right? So now, instead of doing redistricting, we can just build on, and we can expand the schools. So the idea is some of our middle schools that we have already built that are new, like Hendricks, is already at that capacity. So all we want to do is bring the old schools back up to that capacity so everybody's equal, right? So Otwell will get an expansion, and I think it's up to
1,600. We would increase our
students.
capacity up to
Wow.
1,600 students. With so much growth around us, we need it. And we are one of the schools that has a modular unit right now. So to be able to, and the words that we've been using is house the kids that are already here.
Yes.
putting a roof over the
Putting a
kids
roof.
that are already
They're
here.
already
right?
here, right? So
Yeah.
increasing that capacity to 1,600 is just going to keep our Bulldogs here with us instead of redistricting to another school.
Yep. And so that's on the list. So that's a priority. Those are some of the priorities that we put on there.
That's awesome. So yeah, Ms. St. Jean, talk a little bit more about that, because I know for our community members and our parents who are listening to this, how does this impact our kids at Otwell? Or maybe kids who are in elementary school that's going to be in Otwell in a few years, 4, 5, 6 years. What does that look like at Otwell? What does that mean for them? Because you're right. If you look around at whether it's the city center over here or across from Cumming Elementary, where there's building some new some townhomes and shopping centers.
Residential, yeah.
There's growth everywhere, which means they're going to be coming here
Yes, indeed.
to Cumming Elementary, Otwell, and then for Forsyth Central. So what does this ESPLOST mean for Otwell if this were to pass?
For us, again, it's keeping the Bulldogs that are here with us now and that will be with us in the next 2 or 3 years here at OMS. I mean, all of our schools in Forsyth County are great, right? But we do know that a few years ago, our school in particular went through a redistricting process when Hendricks opened. So if we're able to keep the Bulldogs that are here with us in our community at Cumming Elementary, at Mashburn, at Whitlow, they can stay here with us, that'd be great. It's great for the cluster. It's great for the heart of Forsyth. Our school has already benefited from SPLOST 6. We were able to replace our air conditioning units over the summer. We've gotten our classrooms painted. We've gotten career tech refresh, career tech equipment, new hand dryers in the restrooms, new water fountains. I mean, we can go through a variety of renovations.
It's like a house, Miss St. Jean. If you
That's
think
what
about
it is.
it,
When you purchase a home,
it doesn't
you're
just
making an
stay.
Functioning 24 hours a
Yeah.
It doesn't
Yes.
stay new
It doesn't.
forever.
There's maintenance. There's yearly maintenance.
Yeah.
There's things that you have to attend to. That's a perfect example. It's like a house. You make
Yeah.
you make an investment in a home for your family,
Yeah.
and from time to time, something might happen that you've got to call a technician in for. And what better way to help pay for that technician to upgrade, or renovate, or maintain your home by having the cash on hand?
Yes. I mean, that's fiscally responsible. We talk about that. I used to teach social studies. We always talked about finance and how they say you want to be fiscally responsible. You don't want to go into debt for a lot of things. That's what you do personally. When you're doing your personal finances, you don't want to go into debt. Same thing when it comes to school, right? You don't want to go into debt if you can avoid that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you look at school systems around us, a lot of them have large budgets and have large bonds to pay off, and we're not doing that anymore. We're stopped the bonds, we stopped the debt. And, I always think about, I want my son to come back here. Grew up here, went to college. Hopefully he'll come back here and start his life here and have his family here. But I don't want him paying the debt and the high taxes down the road.
Yeah.
Let's stop it now, and let's make sure that it continues down the road. So.
Love that.
Well, I don't know about you, Mr. Miller, but it's been fantastic hearing Mr. McCall and Miss St. Jean just talk about just all the information that we have at our hands.
Yeah.
This has been great. I mean, I love the fact that it's organized, that there's a plan in place, and this is the vision that we're kind of moving forward with.
No, for sure. Love that. And I know there's a lot of information out there. The board has presented a lot of that information. We're going to link all that. There's a website specifically for this. We're going to link that in our show notes, put it on our social media as well as we post this episode so that you can, as a voter, be informed. We talk about it all the time. When you go to the polls, you want to be informed, and whatever it is on there. And so when you get to that question, you'll know what this actually means. What is this going toward? Whichever way you want it to go. So we appreciate you, Mr. McCall, coming in, telling us a little bit about that.
That's great.
Ms. St. Jean, thank you for being here.
Thank you, guys.
And we just thank you for your support for this district, for this school, and all that you do for this county. So thank you so much. And that has been this episode of the Bulldogs Unleashed podcast. My name is David Miller, reminding you to dream boldly. Thanks again.